I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. It's too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. Too easy. It's too easy. I've been there, done it, seen it. Boy, all that like Kenny. Still got crack, they fiendin'. Flow still hot like Phoenix. Shine so bright, I'm gleaming. This off top, I'm tweaking. Fresh out the rat like me. And I'm still tryna fight my demons. Cause y'all gotta act like Tina. That's why I gotta ride with the Nina. Outside, it's a war going on. Make me put my hands on my head like the Macarena. They want you walking on board like Kima. Ain't give a F to you like John Cena. Putting blood on the brand new Beamer. Tryna earn they stripes like Adidas. You get cold when you ride with the heater. It'll turn you to a dog like a Keeta. And expose to a cat like a cheetah. They smoke my partner like reefer. Dímelo porque o no entiendo. Mi gente must really need Jesus. He shed real blood. I never seen the crypt and I believe it. It's too easy. Too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. It's too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. Too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy.
Welcome in. Happy Tuesday, everybody. It is episode 171 of the show. We are here to talk about Tuesday, April 2nd. We got a hefty baseball slate tonight. There is some weather. I can run over the weather concerns, and we can talk about the slate. I have some bets I'm going to give out. Yesterday was a good day. Taylor, what's up? Dead break even on the premium card yesterday. Should have been a bigger day. Shouldn't even have been a break even. I get it, but so we had the over. What do we have? Over 8.5 in the Braves game. And because it didn't finish the full game, it voids the run stuff. But in my opinion, it shouldn't void if it already went over. They can't lose runs. It already went over 8.5. So why does that not pay out? I understand not paying out the run line because I guess there's a world where, if it was 5-0, maybe they could come back and only lose by 1, right? I understand that. But we took the total over and it already went over. So I don't understand how that doesn't pay out. That's bogus. So it was a break-even day based off that. Should have been profitable because I just don't understand. It already went over the total, so that should pay out. But I digress. In terms of stuff we talked about on the stream yesterday, I liked Baltimore. They won. I liked the over in the Boston-Oakland game. That went over. The Phillies lost. Phillies melted down in extra innings. I don't know what that was. They were up 2-0 the entire game, and then they let the Reds tie it up at the end, and then they put some scrub reliever in, and he just walked the bases loaded and gave up a grand slam. So that was a disaster. But overall, it was a pretty good day yesterday. Mike, what's up? If UConn wins chip, I should win the bet conference. Nice. I think I used Arizona in that one, so that had no chance of winning. My mistake there. Absolutely horrible. All right. As far as weather goes, if you guys have questions or anything, go ahead and ask. Or if you have bets you like, drop in the chat. We can talk about it. I got some props I'm going to give out today. I haven't bet. If you know anything about me, I don't bet props typically early season. I like to get some numbers to go off of. I do have a couple props I'm taking today. And then we'll talk about the games also. Baltimore, Kansas City looks sketchy. Don't know if it'll play. If it does, it's been raining quite a bit there. They might have to play through some light rain if they do go ahead and play that. But that's one to watch out for. And then Detroit, New York is another one to watch out for. I think for the most part, everything else is fine. There was some slight concerns in Philly, but I think it's going to be okay. And then everything else I think is fine. So Baltimore, KC, Detroit, New York, Mets. Those are the two games to watch out for when it comes to weather. It's also Dinger Tuesday on FanDuel. They're bringing that back this year. So basically, you bet on a player to hit a home run, and you get a bonus bet back up to, I think the max is $25. I don't know if other people have higher limits on that. Someone in the chat can answer. I don't know, because like sometimes FanDuel has different limits for what people can use profit boosts on. I'm not sure if there's a different maximum for other people on the Dinger Tuesday. For me, I think it's $25. So you bet on someone. If you bet, so if I bet $25 on someone to hit a home run, I get a bonus bet back up to a maximum of 25 in $5 increments for every home run hit in the game of the player I bet on. So say I bet on Aaron Judge to hit a home run tonight, and there's 5 total home runs hit in the New York Arizona game, I would get a $25 bonus bet even if Aaron Judge does not hit a home run. So they did bring that back promotion. It's pretty fun. I mean, I bet home runs anyways, so most people bet home runs anyways. So it's just a way to get a little bit of a bonus bet back, even if your guy doesn't do anything. So uh, yeah, pretty fun. All right, let's get in here. So we do have a game starting in about an hour here, Minnesota, Milwaukee. I do not have a bet in that game currently. I mean, you can see Minnesota opened up as the favorite, and the public is very, very heavy on Milwaukee here, which has caused the line to flip. Milwaukee is now the favorite. And, despite that, I mean, I don't know if this split is accurate, but I mean, there's a lot of money handle wise on the Twins, which is interesting. Obviously, the Twins lineup takes a hit with Royce Lewis out. But overall, top to bottom, I think these are pretty evenly matched teams. I think Milwaukee has probably a better bullpen. There's no real edge when it comes to a starting pitcher today. So this is a pretty closely contested game, which is why I didn't really put a bet in. I would honestly probably lean Twins if you were forced to make a bet. I'm not going to be betting on the game. I would lean Twins, honestly, just because they're sizable dogs now. But yeah. I don't love targeting like totals against Milwaukee just because their bullpen is pretty good. And if you don't get there in the first few innings, you never feel good. It's the same story with DFS. Like, I don't like stacking against Milwaukee because if you don't get 5-6 runs off their starter, you're probably not going to do a ton of damage to the bullpen. So it really limits the upside. But I would lean towards the Twins if I was forced to make a pick in that game. Let's go O'Neill home run. Yeah, Ryan. So my article's out for home run pick today on betkarma.com. Tyler O'Neill. We'll talk about it later because I have another bet with Tyler O'Neill that we could talk about later on. KC Baltimore. We have Alec Marsh against Cole Irvin. Just horrible pitching matchup here. Absolutely disgusting. Totals at 8.5, and it's come down a little bit. I'm assuming most of that is because of the weather concerns that there are with this game. I mean, I don't really like anything here. I would lean Baltimore to win though. Don't like either of those pitchers. If the weather's fine, I mean, I think there could be definitely some offense here. So maybe you could look at an over. But that's my take there. Angels Marlins. This is another spot we talked about yesterday. I told you guys that the Marlins have been the most profitable team to the over this season. They've now gone over in every single game. Every game this season, Marlins games have gone over. They had to use their bullpen again last night a bunch. So they are really, really they are going to leave Jesus Luzardo like they're praying for 6 innings from Luzardo, 6 or 7. They need a big outing from Luzardo last night. This bullpen is tired. Like I said, they're not off again for another few days. So this is a scary situation here. in terms of the offensive production in this game. They definitely win the pitching matchup. Tyler Anderson is not very good. Jesus Luzardo at least has upside. But the Marlins are really counting on a big outing from Luzardo here with how much they've had to use that bullpen. They really need him to go 6 or 7 innings. They need him to not walk guys today. And I like the over again. So I posted that on the premium card in the Discord last night. We took the over 8.5 at minus 104 odds. It has moved up to 9, and I believe it's juiced on the over 9 in some spots. So I like the over again. I think Marlins will be able to put up runs against Tyler Anderson for sure. And if there's any situation where Luzardo only goes, even if he only goes 6 innings, you're just getting a really, really taxed bullpen for the Angels. But the Angels do profile pretty decent against left-handed pitching. So even though I like Luzardo and I think he's going to be a good big league pitcher, the Angels do match up decently against left-handed pitching. So I like the over again in the Marlins game. No reason to stop riding it. They've gone over in every game, and we can just go right back to that well. Reds, Phillies, Graham Ashcraft against Spencer Turnbull, 2 guys that I like to play in DFS. You guys know if you've read my content about Graham Ashcraft and Spencer Turnbull in the past. Don't have any bets on this game. I would lean probably under. Pour one out. Anyone that had the under in that Phillies game yesterday, man. I mean, two runs and then it's 2-2, and then all of a sudden you go to extra innings and it's 6-2. That sucks. But I would lean under if anything in that Phillies game. Don't love anything there. Didn't take anything. Rays, I was wrong about yesterday again, just getting beat up. I don't know what's going on there. Slow start to the season. Last year, the Rays started off super hot. This year, it's been the complete opposite. Again, though, I mean, I do prefer the starting pitching of Eflin against Haney. So maybe you could look at a Rays first 5 innings type bet, something like that. Maybe you could look at an over. I think you could do that as well. But I don't know. I'm still willing to back the Rays here. They're gonna have to get a win here maybe at some point. And yeah, I don't know. Rays first 5 or maybe the over would be my leans in that game. Speaking of just horrible performances, the New York Mets are bad. I mean, they've scored. I think the stat was what they've scored. Have they scored 1 run or 0 runs in all but 1 game? Is this accurate? I know they didn't do anything last night. I mean, just pathetic performance from the Mets offense. Let me see here. Let's see. All right, yesterday the Mets lost 5-0. Sunday the Mets lost 4-1, so that's 2. Saturday they lost 7-6. Okay, so they scored a little bit on Saturday. Friday they lost 3-1, and on opening day they did not play. So yes, they have scored 1 or less, 0 or 1 runs in all but 1 game. The Mets. This is putrid. Casey Mize against Adrian Hauser. I mean, I think Casey Mize is the better pitcher. I don't know what to do with this. I don't know what to do with this Mets team. They've basically just ran really bad in terms of getting guys on and then not being able to bring them home to score runs. And the Tigers have been the complete opposite. Tigers have been a wagon with runners in scoring position this season. I'm sure you guys have noticed if you watched any of the games. So I don't know. It's tough. Like eventually that probably will correct a little bit, but nothing in me and no part of me wants to wager American dollars on this Mets team the way that they're playing on offense right now. So that's just a pass for me altogether. I guess you could go under. I mean, it's a low total, 7.5. You could go under if you think that once again, they're not going to score any runs. Cubs, Rockies, I don't know. Don't love anything here. I don't love the pitchers going. This Rockies team is horrible. What's your thoughts on Dinger Tuesday? Yeah, I talked about it a little bit at the beginning. I think it's fun. I mean, I think most people that bet on baseball are betting home runs anyways. So it's good to just give you a chance maybe to, get a little bonus bet back if your guy doesn't do anything or the game goes crazy. So I think it's a fun promotion. I think it's definitely strategic to figure out what game you want to target early on in the season with the bad weather on the East Coast. I think you want to look at the indoor games or the West Coast games for Dinger Tuesday early season. So Houston comes to mind, Arizona comes to mind, or the Dodgers, where like it's a fine hitting environment, and there's going to be, you know, there's going to be I want to say like options for guys to hit home runs. Obviously, both Arizona and New York have good power hitters. Obviously, Houston, obviously the Dodgers. So West Coast and indoors where I look at early month, I feel like for that promo, just because I don't really want to mess with the weather. Tigers plus 112. Yeah, like I said, I just don't have any faith in this Mets offense right now. Eventually, they probably will hit better with runners in scoring position, and they'll be able to bring some of those guys home. But nothing in me wants to bet on the Mets. So if you want to bet against them, I have no issues with that whatsoever. And I do think that Casey Mize is a better pitcher than Adrian Houser. So Ryan, maybe you could look at Detroit for the first 5 innings or something like that. But yeah, I have no issues attacking the Mets. Just absolutely pitiful performance from them to start the season. Garrett Crochet, Reynaldo Lopez, Braves White Sox revenge game for Lopez going against his former team. Garrett Crochet, kind of like a trendy name in the season-long streets, the DFS streets for the early season. He had a really good start in his first game against Detroit. So this is a little fun matchup. Obviously, the Braves are a different animal than the Detroit Tigers. I would obviously pick the Braves to win the game, but I stayed away from that game, didn't take anything there. I think you could maybe look at an under if you believe in Lopez and what the Braves bullpen can do, because I do like Crochet. I don't think he'll get crushed, even if he gives up a couple runs. I guess it'll probably come down to the bullpen, so maybe first 5 under then. Honestly, the more I talk about it, but that's a fun game. I'm excited to see Crochet again, see how he looks against a good team. Toronto, Houston. Houston coming off that no-hitter last night. They no-hit Toronto. That was fun. If you guys were watching that. Framber Valdez, Jose Barrios. 2 pitchers I really don't love. Barrios is like average, and Valdez is a really, really good real-life pitcher, but he's not someone that's going to rack up a ton of strikeouts. He will pitch with guys on base. He's very, very good at getting ground balls, and he gets double plays. He started opening day against New York for Houston. He had 3 double plays. He pitched into 3 double plays in the first 4 innings, and 2 of those were with the bases loaded. So he had the bases loaded on him twice in the first 4 innings of that game. Got a double play to get out of it both times. It's just not someone that I love to back. I mean, I definitely would lean towards Houston at home. Their offense finally woke up last night. They have another good matchup against Barrios today, specifically Alvarez, Tucker. Those guys just match up very well against him in terms of like his pitch mix and his splits as well. So definitely would lean Houston, but I'm not going out of my way to bet it. You mean Braves first 5 under? Yeah. So if you wanted to take the under there, you could go first 5 under 4.5. If you think Crochet is going to do good, then you don't have to mess around with the bullpens. But I mean, it's the Braves. They could go off every single night. It's just I do think Crochet is good, and I'm excited to see just how he looks against the Braves tonight. Yankees Diamondbacks. So this is a game I do have a strong take on. We have Zach Gallen going up against Nestor Cortez. I'm not a Nestor Cortez fan, and I am a big Zach Gallen fan. You guys remember for DFS purposes, we've been really heavy on him, especially early last season. But I do have some concerns with Zach Gallen. So similar to Mitch Keller, which I talked about on opening day on the stream, both those guys have had just decreased velocity to start the season. And when it's early in the season like this, we don't know if it's something that's going to linger or if it's just them ramping back up and getting back into the swing of things. All we can go off of is what we've seen, which is spring training and their first start. And that's what I said about Mitch Keller. Maybe he was just ramping up in spring training and it would correct itself in his first start of the year, but it didn't. He had decreased velocity throughout spring training. He had decreased velocity in his first start, and he gave up a bunch of runs. Zach Gallen has had decreased velocity in spring training. He had decreased velocity in his first start. He did not give up a bunch of runs, but he also was pitching against the Colorado Rockies, and the Diamondbacks were up 15-1 like instantly in that game. So I do have some concerns right now when it comes to Zach Gallen. And while the velocity's down for spring training and his first start, his numbers, if you isolate last season, first half of the season, he was like the NL Cy Young. Absolutely amazing. As the season went on, throughout the last month and a half of the regular season and the playoffs, his numbers took a really, really sharp decline. And I'm just concerned because if we look at last season, he wasn't great at the end of the season. He wasn't great in the playoffs. Then he comes out in spring training. His velocity is down a little bit. And, while he pitched good in the first start, it was against the Rockies. Like, I'm going to take that with a grain of salt. He didn't have great strikeout numbers in spring training, under one strikeout per inning. I think he struck out 9 in 13 innings. And he didn't strike out a lot of Rockies on opening day. So I'm going to look at the under 5.5 strikeouts for Zach Gallen tonight against the New York Yankees. Yankees they've had their best start in like 25 years as a team. They're undefeated, but they're not as high strikeout with some of these guys they've brought in, or at least they're not profiling as such early on. Juan Soto's not a high strikeout bat. So really we're looking at Judge, Stanton, Anthony Volpe, and Rizzo. Like, those are the only guys in the Yankees lineup right now that are going to strike out a ton. So they're not as high strikeout as they've been in years past, at least early goings, and they don't profile as such. And we couple that with Zach Gallen, who didn't have great strikeout stuff in spring training, didn't have good strikeout stuff against a really bad team in the Rockies in his first start. And I have concerns about the velocity. So Zach Gallen under 5.5 strikeouts. I got it at -110. I think you can still get -110s out there. It's looking like it's -112 on FanDuel right now, at least what I'm seeing. Actually, no, it's -108. So yeah, even better. Even better. -108. Zach Gallen under 5.5 strikeouts, I think, is a pretty good play tonight. I'm going to be taking that. And I think you can couple that with the over 9 runs in this game. If you have Bet365, you can get over 9 at +100 right now. It's like -105 on FanDuel and some other sites, but I think there should be some offense here. I mean, I think you can score on Nestor Cortez. He settled down after the first few innings against Houston on opening day, but I mean, he's still capable of blowing up, giving up a three-run home run, 2-run home run if he puts some guys on base. And like I just said, I have concerns about Gallen. I think the Yankees will be able to score. So I like the over in that game, over 9, and I like Zach Gallen under 5.5 strikeouts. Moving on, really, really good game here. Guardians Mariners tonight. If you like pitching, definitely check this out. Castillo, Bieber. I told you guys on opening day, I think Bieber is going to have a big year. He's fully healthy. He looked great in spring training. He looks back to the Cy Young Bieber that we've seen. Again, take it with a grain of salt, but he carved up the A's on opening day. A lot of strikeouts. Mariners have a lot of strikeouts in their lineup, especially against right-handed pitching. So could be a spot for Bieber K props. I think he's at 6.5. I would be fine with the over there, but Luis Castillo is a good pitcher on the opposite side as well. The Bet Karma tools really like the Mariners in this game, and they really liked the Mariners last night, and they won. So I'm not in a position to question the tools right now. I understand this money coming in on the under here, just given the quality of the pitching, but I guess I would lean Mariners if I was picking a side of this game. The tools really like the Mariners, and they were right yesterday. The tools also really like the A's on Sunday, and they beat the Guardians too. So maybe the tools are just very anti-Guardians at this moment, but they've been right the last 2 days, and I'm not in a position to question it. It's not like Luis Castillo is a scrub by any stretch. So lean towards Mariners in this game, but I think Bieber over strikeouts is probably a fine look. Or if you wanted to do like Bieber, alt it down like Bieber 5+ strikeouts and pair that with maybe a couple guys to get a hit or something. I think you do that. No run first inning is probably fine, but I will say I don't like taking those in these games with, like, I haven't checked, but I guarantee it's like minus 145 if I go look right now. So I don't like to bet no run first inning if it's over like minus 130 odds. I just don't think the value matches up. Let me see what it is. I'll pull it up on FanDuel. Minus 148. I don't know. That's too juicy for me. I guess maybe if you wanted to pair it up with something, but I just feel like more often than not, if it's over like minus 130, I just don't feel like the value matches up because you do have like guys can hit solo home runs. There's just a lot of randomness. So I don't know. I'll probably pass on that one. But if you wanted to take it and like pair it with something to get a little bit better odds, I think that's fine. Duan, what's up? FanDuel Core was lit last night. Yeah, we've been crushing MLB DFS. If you guys play DFS, DraftKings, FanDuel, sign up, dfskarma.com/pricing. My cores have been really, really good to start the year. Obviously, anyone that's been around knows baseball is arguably our best sport. So no surprise that we've started out the season hot. Last couple games of the night here, we have Red Sox, A's, Brian Bayo going up against Alex Wood. Alex Wood was horrible in his first start for the A's. He was somehow their opening day starter. He allowed 6 runs. And I like Tyler O'Neill in this game over 1.5 total bases. It's plus 110 on Bet365. I'm not sure if any other sites have plus 110. I think FanDuel had plus 105 when I looked. But Tyler O'Neill has been really, really hot to start the year for the Red Sox. He's got 2 home runs in 5 games. I was laughing last night. The Red Sox were up like 8-0, and they intentionally walked Tyler O'Neill. Like, I thought that was hilarious. Like, dude, like, you're down 8 runs. Like, why are you intentionally walking someone? But I digress. He's been hot to start the year. 2 home runs in 5 games. He obviously hits left-handed pitching really well. He has his entire career, but he absolutely destroys sinkers. Alex Wood threw his sinker over 50% of the time in that opening day start for the A's. O'Neill has far and away the best numbers against sinkers on the Red Sox. He had video game numbers against that pitch last year. He hit like 330 against it. His ISO, weighted on base, all that stuff off the charts against sinkers. And it's been that way for his whole career. If you go back multiple seasons, he's hit like 300 or above against the pitch all year. So every year. So O'Neill over 1.5 total bases is a good look for me tonight. Plus 110. That's the first batting prop I've taken all year. So Tyler O'Neill is our first batting prop. I like the over in this game again. I took it yesterday, you guys. If you were on here, we took the over 8. I like the over 8 again. I mean, the Red Sox went over by themselves last night. Alex Wood, if he doesn't stick around in this game, this A's bullpen is terrible. I mean, you can probably pencil in the Red Sox for 4 to 5 runs and maybe more. And maybe the A's get a couple. Bayo's like up and down. I like him, but he's been inconsistent at times. So I wouldn't be shocked to see him give up a couple. But I like the over 8 in that game again. And then what do we have? Cardinals, Padres. I didn't take anything in this game. Yu Darvish against Miles Michaelis. Pretty low total as well. 7.5 for these pitchers. Only 38% of the tickets, but 50% of the money on the under. It's ticked up a bit. It's still 7.5 on FanDuel, but looks like it's 8 now on DraftKings. Don't really have a play here. I would lean towards Padres just because I'm not a big Miles Michaelis guy, but at the same time, I'm really not a huge Yu Darvish guy at this point of his career either. So I don't know, maybe the over, but didn't take anything there. And then last game of the night, Giants, Dodgers. What do we really have to say here? Dodgers, I mean, they're getting the Giants' best pitcher in Logan Webb, but I mean, it's the Los Angeles Dodgers. So I didn't take a side in that game. And I would be looking to, if you want to put the Dodgers in a money line parlay, I think you can do that. But I digress. All right. If you guys have any bets in the chat, let me know. As far as stuff I went over, if you guys joined late, I took the over 8.5 in the Marlins Angels game at minus 104. It's up to 9. I like that bet a lot. I like the over in the Yankees Diamondbacks game. I like the Gallon under 5.5 Ks. And I like the Tyler O'Neill over 1.5 total bases. Those are like the big plays for me today. I'll also be, because I wrote it up in my article, I'll be sprinkling O'Neill home run, definitely, given the matchup. Favorite pitcher prop? Well, I mean, if you want me to exclude the Gallon under, I would say probably Bieber over 6.5. Let me make sure that's those line here. Yeah, Bieber over 6.5 looks good to me. Ton of strikeouts in the middle of this Seattle order, especially against righties. And I said I think he's going to have a really, really big season. So Bieber over 6.5, Gallon under 5.5. Those would be my favorite two pitcher props. Thank you guys for tuning in, though. Big stream today. A lot of people in here. Appreciate that. I'll be on tomorrow, same time, same place, 3 p.m. We will recap today. We will give out some bets for tomorrow. Hopefully, does anyone know? Do we have day baseball tomorrow? I mean, this is killing me today. There's no day games until 4. I don't know what's up with that, but let me see. Do we have any day games tomorrow? Yeah, we got a nice day slate tomorrow. Bunch of 1:00 games. And some 3:00, 4:00. So we'll definitely have some stuff to talk about. Maybe we'll do the stream earlier tomorrow for the day games. I don't know. We'll see. I'll tweet an update in the morning, but definitely we'll be live tomorrow. Recap today. Give some bets out for tomorrow. We got some day baseball tomorrow. So good luck with your wagers tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.